We have been training Jiu Jitsu for 2 months now. We started actually rolling a few weeks ago from our knees on the mat. Like not starting from standing, basically. I've trained for and executed multiple marathons, completed a number of Tough Mudders, trained hard in CrossFit, hiked, biked, swam. And nothing compares to the total mental and physical exhaustion I feel after training jiu-jitsu. How can I combat this? Time, train more, supplements, just suck it up. When I get home, I'm so beat, and the next morning I wake up feeling like I was hit by a bus. I know that feeling, by the way. Despite the exhaustion and still sucking at it, it's super fun.
Okay, so that's the jiu-jitsu.
And,
okay, so there's a couple things here. Yes, it's going to take some time. You're going to have to train. You train more. Your body will become conditioned to it. That's probably number one. Number two is, and this is so hard for people to do, relax.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really hard for people to do, especially when you first start out. Mm-hmm. I realized that the way you get to a point when you start to relax is when when the capability of your technique surpasses the capability of your strength.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know that I can escape your choke attempt by holding your hand and pulling your thumb and pulling your arm off, and that's what I know, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. When I realize that I can use a technical escape of swimming my arm in and then placing my hips on the ground and then scooting away from your choke, I'll do that instead. Mm-hmm. But until we figure out the techniques, all we have is muscle. So the way you do is you just have to keep training and keep training. And you can try. Can people actually, when they try and relax, do they actually get? You tell me. So I always tell people, like, relax more. Like someone will say, I just can't relax, and I'll be like, relax harder.
Yeah,
but it's so hard for people to relax because people say, oh, when I relax, I just get submitted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you relax, you'll at least be aware of what's happening. And if you relax, you can think about the technical movement that you're supposed to do to escape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like, just like how you said, though, if you don't know the move, you're just gonna go with what you know, and it's gonna be the spaz in one way or another. If a guy's on you,
is
like
spazzing ever effective?
Well,
because I'll go ahead and say yes.
Yes.
Sometimes I have to spaz, and Dean calls me out on that a lot.
Well, here's the thing.
Good defense, you just spaz.
Well, but your spaz has a big, more than a sprinkle of technique in it, though. That's the thing.
True.
Like you, and I told you this one time, you know how, like, if you say, yeah, you're strong, and that's kind of an insult in jiu-jitsu, because it's like saying, yeah, you're strong, but you don't have technique. It's kind of like that's what you're implying. And I said this to you one time. I was like, you have, like, strength. You're strong. And you were like, not defensive, but you were like, no, I have technique or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I know that. And I was like, shoot, that sounded bad. I mean, you have technique. We already know that. You've been training for 25 million years and you have good technique. But with that technique is like a lot of strength in there. Like when you, there's like stuff. Oh yeah. When like, if I'll be in side control on top on you, and you have this, like, first off, your hands are in the correct spot just to begin with. Yeah. So that's to begin. And you can just kind of get your leg in real easy every single time. Like I can't stop it. And I'm not weak, but it's like the strength of that move is like, oh, it's unstoppable. And that's when I said it. I was like, you're like strong. When you do a technique, it's like, it's a strong technique.
Yeah. And I would say, though, there's a lot of, I would say it's probably 70% technique and 30% strength, which may confirm what you're saying. Yeah. That 30% strength is still more than if someone has 70% technique, but they have only 10% strength to back it up.
Yeah, fully. And even saying it's, 70% technique, 30% strength. I mean, that's going to vary from moment to moment, or experience to experience. So if you're spazzing, even that's going to be a spectrum. Like, how much strength did you use versus technique, kind of thing.
Yeah, because you can't spaz for a long time.
Nope.
Because then you'll just be tired and you'll just be gassed. Yeah.
So when I say you're strong, here's the thing. The fact is you're strong. Regardless if you have technique or not. You can lift a lot of weights. You're big. Try grab, like, I'll grab your wrist, and when you break the grip of the wrist, it's way more violent than the typical person. You're a strong person, so there's no denying that. I know it sounds like an insult or whatever, but nonetheless, back to the point. Yeah, if you have strength going in before you gain all that technique over the years, just like how you said, that's what you're going to use. Yeah. So the key is here, I think, is to consciously, and it's not easy, consciously focus on the technique. Consciously, like, remember, okay, where am I? Am I in half guard right now? Because you know how, like, in the beginning, when you first learn the positions, you're like, half guard is real clear. Guard is real clear. When you start rolling around, you're halfway upside down. Maybe you're twisted. Maybe your arm's in the wrong spot across your body or something like that. You kind of don't remember, oh, wait, I'm in half guard right now. Or I'm upside down, but I'm in, I'm on his back still or whatever. So it doesn't just stick in your mind what position you're in. But if you can do that, then it starts getting routine. So now after that, you can figure out, okay, am I safe here? Because that's why you spaz. That's why you can't relax, because you don't know if you're safe or not. So you're just trying to move and get out of there or get that submission, hurry up before he does something.
You know where this applies to life? This applies to life in when you're interacting with other people. And you start to, let's say you and I are having a disagreement about something.
Sure.
Right? And you start getting the upper hand on me. And instead of me trying to use a technique to get out, all I do is go, "That's stupid, Echo, you're dumb," or something like that, right? I just start interrupting you, cutting you off, raising my voice. I'm actually losing now. And I don't, but I'm relying on brute force as opposed to technique. Now, it could be also, like we talked about earlier, it could be that I'm wrong. And if instead of admitting that I'm wrong or taking, like you're saying, relax and looking at the technique and saying, you know what, Echo has a point here that I can't debate against. He's right and I'm wrong. I need to admit that. Same thing if you came up with an idea for the plan and your idea was better than mine, or you had a point that I needed to bring into the plan, unless I can relax and actually pay attention, then I'm not going to be able to do that. So that's one of the many ways when I always talk about jiu-jitsu applying to life. This is another example of where, hey, if the argument starts to escalate and you're using brute force to get out of it, you're not winning. Just like you're not winning in jiu-jitsu. You're going to gas out and you're going to lose. Yeah. Don't use brute force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even 30%. Well, maybe sometimes
30% is okay.
The other thing that's hard, and this, well, it's attached to what you're saying. Don't have death matches every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't, like, you find a partner and just be like, okay, let's try and make sure that we're not using so much strength. I can roll with you or with Dean or with Andy or whoever for a long time, and it's we're sweating, we're tired, but we're not using all this strength. We're not walking off the mat with like burned out muscles. Yeah, it's more of a cardio, I would say, than a strength thing when you get to a higher level, because it's just movement. It's movement that's happening. You know when someone's going to accomplish something, and if you're going to fight it with muscle, you're going to end up losing. Yeah.
And it goes back to the time thing where I was asking, is it more time? And the answer is, yeah, it's more time. Because like you learn that. And again, like knowing where to be and where not to be, where you're safe and where you're not safe in jiu-jitsu is a big deal. So you know how, like, okay, let's say and I know this with you, because let's say if I pass your guard. Sorry, you let me pass your guard. I don't know. You don't spaz and like in a tournament where the guy's like really trying hard not to let you settle in guard. And so that's a different scenario, of course, but you never do that. It's like you get to a point past your guard. Once you kind of get there, you settle and you're kind of relaxing, because it seems like, anyway, that you're not in danger for a submission. No. So that's kind of really where the focus is. It's not the fact that, ooh, he passed my guard. Oh, no, that's terrible. It's not that. It's, okay, now what technique do I need to implement to keep myself safe? And the more you know about jiu-jitsu, the more you realize it doesn't take a huge amount of energy to implement that technique. It's usually just like an arm position, make sure his hip is like over there and not over here. And that's it. That's pretty much it. But if you don't know that, you're like, oh man, you're using your whole body to get out of there, kind of thing. and that's where
You're leaving no reserves in a military perspective. In the military, you're always supposed to keep your reserves as long as you can.
Oh yeah,
when
you're
you
just
expend
using it all
your
up.
reserves trying to spaz out and get out of a dominant position. You're
Yeah.
also attacking a dominant position. When you're spazzing to try and get out,
Yeah.
you're just going crazy trying to get out of this confirmed position. I mean, across the side or the mount, those are positions that are really sure. There's a transitional time when you should
Yeah.
definitely spaz to try and get out. Once that's surpassed, well, now you're just expending energy.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Defense is already up.
check your diet too. If you're like really sore and everything, make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sure you're getting enough fat. Make sure you're getting get some super krill or some joint warfare or both, because your body needs it. So
Yeah.
just other things to try and put off that soreness and the pain.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All that twisting.
Yeah, there's definitely. Well, yeah, it's hard on your joints.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Kind of.
hard.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
like
guess not
they get a
really.
workout.
It's-
You know,
yeah,
they get a
yeah.
workout that you won't be getting doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Unless, it's construction or something, something like that. Same thing. You're gonna get joint stuff. That's how. But yeah, keep it. It's supposed to be fun. The death matches, though.
Death matches. Yeah, white belt death matches.
Yeah.
Probably, I would estimate 40% of all injuries in jiu-jitsu come from white belt death matches. You think that's a good number?
Yeah, if not higher.
If not higher.
Yeah. Full on. Yeah.
Yeah. Check.
Cool. Next question.